It's the edge of the world, at the southern tip of Africa. Seated between two oceans, to the right the Atlantic, to the left the Indian, the Cape holds the last city in the continent. Cape Town offers everything that tourists dream of. Savage landscapes and white sand beaches where you can surf and tan the whole year round. It's a paradise for filmmakers and advertisers.
It is a very popular location to shoot. The white sand beaches, mountains, sea.
An ideal setting with houses belonging to descendants of slaves and former colonizers as well. The city is alive day and night. This is the image that 3 million tourists take with them when they leave South Africa. But the Cape isn't all this strip of paradise on earth. Behind the famous Table Mountain, which divides the city in two, stretch two enormous ghettos, some of the most dangerous in the world. They're called the Cape Flats, enormous stretches patterned with housing projects and encampments of tin-roofed shantytowns. In these neighborhoods, 100 gangs battle it out for control over the drug market. Just like this settling of Scores, which was caught on city surveillance cameras. On average, 6 people die each week. This is Craig's Turf, the head of gang unit. An elite unit has just been formed to try to put an end to the gang wars. For just a miles away, there are rich neighborhoods where whites have barricaded themselves away. They've controlled the city since the days of the apartheid, but they've become minorities on the Cape. Obsessed with their own security, almost all of them are armed, and they employ the services of the 100 or so private security services, like Jans, a Frenchman who's lived there for 10 years.
If you come from South Africa, you have to be obsessed with security. If you're not obsessed with it, you'll get skinned every 5 minutes.
The police try to place themselves between these two worlds.
Unnecessary liability on council.
Grant is one of the super cops who can't be stopped by anything. At his side is Mandy, 33 years old, and head sergeant. She's a rare woman in the field, sacrificing everything in the name of the law.
Mentally, you need to be prepared for what you're doing. I always say when you put on your uniform, you put on your responsibility. We know why we are here.
Together, this handful of policemen are tasked with the near impossible mission of pacifying a metropolis of 4 million inhabitants, 20 years after the fall of the apartheid. In the dead center of Cape Town, the city erected the headquarters for the city's police, the Metro Police. Grant Lipari is one of the very finest. Along with Mandy Lawrence, they form one of the 120 squads that patrol the city 24/7.
Yes, it can do, but I think when we're on the road, then we get that adrenaline rush, and then we'll be good to go. What are you looking for?
I'm gonna go with
An armed robbery just happened in a shop downtown. But in order to apprehend the robber, they know they need to get away from the main arteries of the capital, cruising towards the south to the other side of the mountain. These two officers spend 3/4 of their time in the notorious Cape Flats. These ghettos are vestiges of apartheid, when whites confined blacks to the outskirts of the city.
This is Lavendale. This is where most of your shootings and killings occurred in the last couple of weeks. Two different gangs, one gang this side, one gang here with other flats. So you're supposed to be a police van. They see here, they're keeping the gang members apart. They're permanently in this area. They stand down here. Don't move. Take everybody, I do every winkel. To there. They didn't take all that light is outside. Almal van julle, all of them. Kom, week saam. Hand op my kar. Scapegoat, niksie. Anything sharp, knives, nothing.
Frisked, and for no apparent reason, the police strike at random.
Description of them, so if we come across them, we will take them, detain them, and hopefully the guys that were robbed can identify the suspects that was involved in the robbery with the firearms this morning.
This strategy even has a name among the Cape Town cops. Stop and search.
Here we go.
Mandy is still behind the wheel. If someone has to suddenly jump out of the car, Grant is on it.
Hallo, op Boeta. Kijk net saam. Down, kom. Papa, Lisa, down, 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 down. I want your hands in your head. Nothing else. Hand op jullie koppen, niks anders dan nie. Handen. As jy alleen nie, staan op aan mevrou. Sjoe. Bring hy ene uit.
Grant recognizes two familiar faces.
Wat het jy gehaal, man? Why did you run it?
They only need to find something illegal to be able to detain them.
It's a known drug place. The members of gangs, we come here, we search him, and they saw us coming around the corner, they ran inside here. Why is he running? He's got something to hide. That's why we took him down, we searched him. If he's got nothing, fine.
But his partners couldn't find anything. Grant meets back up with Mandy and gets away quick. In this place, things can degenerate fast.
You don't take no chances because you can have a scruff his little knees, but at the end of the day, if he's going to have a firearm, he's definitely going to shoot you. He's going to take you out.
What they fear the most is getting caught in the middle of a clash like this and ending up 6 feet under.
2 more lives have been claimed in the Western Cape's ongoing gang wars. And this time a Cape Town traffic officer lost his life in the crossfire.
Like here, one of their colleagues was killed by a bullet to the head. He was 35 years old. Murders have happened 15 minutes from downtown and from the peaceful Cape beaches. There, Mandy's colleagues are on watch, aided by the dozens of cameras that have the zone on lockdown day and night. Tourists and residents enjoy the famous Cape sunsets in total tranquility. For Sergeant Lawrence, it's time for a break before going on night patrol. All good, everything went fine. Like every other evening, she eats at her parents' house in a neighborhood halfway between Cape Flats and downtown.
Amy? Amber? Come say hello. Just make it quick, and then you run up again.
Mandy loves her nieces and these family times. At 33 years old, she sacrificed her private life for the sake of the uniform. She can't imagine being both a mother and a cop.
If I'm married, or should I say when I'm married, and my husband would like kids, then... And he must be rich. Not too much, Ma. It's enough. Yes, that's enough. Thank you.
Mandy's mother cannot understand why her daughter signed up for the Metro Police. These days, she lives with a knot of fear in her stomach.
About the crime in South Africa, I can just pray for all of them, our colleagues, etc. During the day, at night, because when they take the children to school, it's dangerous. The all around is dangerous to walk. We survive here, we grew up here in South Africa, but it wasn't so cruel like now. You understand? Yeah. If I can make a change and go somewhere else, but keep me alive.
Mandy's sister knows that she couldn't have taken another path. Already from a young age, she knew that the rules were the rules.
You make me wait. You're gone. Don't bother to come back. I do have rules. I always say I don't negotiate on respect and discipline. So you must always treat everybody with respect. Always have discipline. Bye, Ma. Bye, Daddy. Bye. Bye.
It's 8 p.m. Mandy has to meet Grant for night patrol. The evening will start a few kilometers from here, in the very center of Cape Town. On Long Street.
This part of the city never sleeps.
It's your hub of entertainment, all your clubs, your pubs. That's why you've got the cops all over on the corners and supposed to be doing the foot beat. And you've got the public safety guys as well with the radios. Should anything happen.
The downtown must remain a protected islet at all costs. Tourism brings multiple hundreds of millions of dollars to the city every year. There's no room to sully Cape Town's image. Amongst the partiers, Grant has to spot potential wrongdoers who've come from the sketchier neighborhoods.
For an unsuspected person, to be pickpocketed, you have your vehicle broken into, and you got your regulars that sell drugs to the people. That's the people that we look out for. And we've got our cameras to assist us that will tell us on which corner they're busy dealing, and so we can do the necessary and arrest those people. Who are you? Sarge! Buddha! Listen to me. It's your last time I'm talking to you. Leave, please. It's your last time. I'm not going to tell you again. Otherwise, I'm going to get a van and I'm going to lock you up. You are interfering with everybody. I've been watching you. This is your last warning, my friend. I'm going to cuff you. I'm going to arrest you. I promise you if I'm going to perform again. Hey, just move it along, please. People, just move it along.
Grant gets the troublemakers out of there, firmly but discreetly, in order not to alarm the tourists.
Absolutely amazing. This is where you have to be. You need to make sure that you come here.
Among the tourists, there are even some French people, and not particularly concerned for the security.
I feel like I'm in less danger here, in the street. Look, there's the guy there, the cowboy here. Look, they're dressed like special forces. You'd think they're the SWAT.
Despite the security detail, troublemakers sometimes manage to outwit the police vigilance. Mandy just got an alert. A young man, drunk, got his wallet picked off him just below this restaurant.
You may report this, but they can only take a statement from you when you are sober. They cannot take a statement from you.
Who was there to decide whether I was sober or not? When I tried to report a crime on Long Street 20 minutes ago, twice.
That officer,
what use are you?
You need to go to the police station,
what use
but
are
I
you?
suggest that you go there in the
what
morning
use
when
are
you are
you?
sober.
So what use are you?
You are being rude.
I'm not. I'm trying to ask for a civil fucking service. I've been mugged. Do you not understand that?
If I must lose my nerve every time something like that happens, how do man?
Sergeant Lawrence is far from the end of the shift. While Long Street stays lit up all night, the other side of town doesn't sleep either. Over to the east of Cape Town, towards Hillstar, one of the capital's most dangerous neighborhoods. However, the police presence out here is far less than in the center of town.
And when we only, like now, only 4 officers covering a big area, not only a big area, but also a red area. Sometimes we feel like they expect too much.
This job is a calling, so we chose this profession and it comes with its hazards. But we're not going to put ourselves in unnecessary danger to be heroes. We do our job and hopefully at the end of the day we can go home to our families.
Just like the other Cape Town ghettos, 80% of crimes here are linked to drug trafficking. So in order to try to eradicate the violence, Grant and Mandy target the youth in particular. As they are vulnerable, they're recruited by traffickers from a young age.
Hey, stop. Look out, he's trying to ditch the drugs. Don't move, police. Keep your hands up on your head. Make sure he's got nothing on him, all right?
These are cigarettes?
Yeah.
So what's this? Marijuana?
What is it?
You see this?
It was in your cigarettes?
I said, no, sir. I said, that's not mine. I don't have cigarettes. Just cut my ear now.
You have the right to remain silent. Everything you say may be used against you. I'm arresting him and taking him to the station.
They only found a minute amount, but it was cocaine. Whenever Grant finds it on a minor in the street, he considers them to be a potential dealer.
I'm getting old. Stop smoking. And the worst part is with the stick is the guys that are using it are also selling these drugs. And I'm talking about kids, I'm talking about 13, 14. Now what is the bloody drug merchants are doing? They're flavoring these drugs. So we're getting at the primary school with the strawberry flavors. We're getting all that is passing through your kids now at the primary schools. Really? And I'm telling you, it's and there's no way of stopping it. Super consent.
The teen will appear in court in 2 days. He's not up for prison, but faces a heavy fine.
10-4, copy the lawsuit.
Mandy and Grant have finished their day after 15 hours in the field. It's 6 in the morning.
Where's the other point? The pom-pom? Wait.
Grant got home late in the night, yet he still tends to his daughters before they leave for school. Corey and Zoe don't know everything their dad has to do, but they're very proud of him.
Some of my friends feel scared because there's policemen in the house. carrying a gun. But we feel safe actually when they come over here.
What would you like to become?
I don't know right now. It's still early.
I work hard that she doesn't have to be a policeman. She must study. I'll put her through varsity, but she's never gonna be a policewoman. Not here in this country, no.
However, Grant loves his job. His rewards are on display in the living room. At 44 years old, he's been awarded multiple times for his bravery and his involvement. But he prefers not to go into details. He doesn't want to upset his wife, who didn't quite imagine this kind of life when she married him.
He was a plumber, but I always knew that he wanted to wear a uniform. That I was aware of.
This was his daddy's dream job, being a policeman. He wanted to be in the SWAT team.
Come, Daddy.
Stay your car. No, you can't walk to the bus. Come. Go, Zoe.
Grant lives on a rather calm street, but the first buildings of Cape Flats are only a few minutes away by car.
Just a bit further down, they abducted a schoolgirl and she was raped. And, my daughter's not even 3 minutes away from where it happened. So if that girl wasn't there, they'd have picked up my daughter here. And then, so she waits here and with me until the bus arrives.
The bus takes Zoe over an hour away to the rich neighborhoods on the other side of the mountain.
She's not going to the local schools around here. I'd rather send her to an expensive school, and I know that she's going to get a good education, good discipline at the school. And if I have to work a couple of days overtime, but she's going to get a good education as well as her sister. That is your bus. Wait.
I know.
See you.
Grant spends more than 4,000 euros per year in order for his daughters to be able to study in that far-off neighborhood. That's 4 months of his salary. This is the sacrifice he makes for them to have a brighter future. Hardly 5 minutes away, gang reprisal are intensifying. At the heart of this battle over the streets is control of the drug market. Faced with escalating violence, Cape Town has shifted strategies. Since January 2012, the police have stationed a new brigade in the heart of the ghettos, closer to the traffickers. The elite unit has been baptized the Gang Unit. Craig Jensen directs this brand new time. The surgeon loves to surround himself with his new friends, the heads of 50 Cape Town gangs. 10 men and 1 woman operate under his orders. All of them are serious, tough, respected for their incorruptibility, and heavily armed. When they leave on a mission, they never know what awaits them. A gang has taken over a new neighborhood and hidden drugs all over in their houses.
The address, you know where it is. Please make sure that when you go to number 13, you secure all the walkies and stuff that is on the premises. Get somebody there to secure it.
On the ground, don't move!
Clear.
Very quickly, the anti-gang squad discovers a revealing item.
What is it for?
He's an American, I suppose. He's a big one in Cape Town. Some will have a bigger flag. This is just a miniature one.
The gang stationed one of their members in this shack.
It's the thief symbol. He's a thief.
We found this knife laying under the bed. It's probably used as protection for whoever was sleeping there.
If the gang make this place its new point of sale for drug traffic, then the drugs can't be far away.
Plat op die grond, meneer. Plat op die grond.
In the street out back,
Plat op die grond, meneer.
Craig Jensen is on the hunt.
Sit jou hande op jou kop, staan daar teen die muur. Sit jou hande op jou kop.
1 second.
Tukka.
As net die pakkies, môre maar.
You see, there's a lot of hiding places in this place where you can stick away the stuff.
He also found amphetamine pills. South Africa is one of the largest amphetamine consumers in the world. In this box, marijuana is stored, rolled into small joints. These are only small doses. But Cape Town is always like this. Gangs scatter their stock so that the gang unit finds as little as possible. The houses in the area are searched, one by one.
They passed me the drug bag.
What is it?
Marijuana. And more marijuana.
7 people have been arrested. Craig and his men seized more than 100 doses of marijuana and the same amount of amphetamines. But while bringing the suspects to the station, a woman comes and stops them.
She just told me that a man died there, just off the street. Go on, it's the other way. Hey, move, get out of the way. Okay, come on, get back, get back. Craig, he's not dead. 25, 26 years old, race black.
What happened to this young man? Is he the victim of a reprisal attack? Seriously weakened, he managed to give some scraps of information.
Did you say he stabbed him? No, he said he wasn't stabbed. They said they just beat him up. They gave him something to drink, and they beat him up. So I don't know how severely they beat him up, but he said he can't feel anything.
You think it's gang related?
It might be. Yes.
It happens.
It's a regular occurrence.
Yeah.
Very regular.
Control 59.
It doesn't do anything to you anymore?
Son, still?
Desensitized.
Wat is die storie nou daar?
That's so 6 of my friends playing like that. Shocked. 6 so far, yeah. 6. In 10 years. Yeah, 6 of my friends and colleagues shot and killed. So, what can we do?
Just ordinary violence. Like all the other children of Cape Flats, Craig Jensen has been confronted with it since an early age. The head of the gang unit grew up in one of the most violent neighborhoods of Cape Town.
Just here.
I lived right there.
Where?
Yep. Back there.
On the ground floor? 2 of his uncles belonged to local gangs.
There was always trouble in the house because they were from the rival gangs. And my grandmother and grandfather always have to stood in the middle to keep them apart because they just wanted to kill one another. If you become a gangster, there's no way out for you is to either live by it or die by it. My uncles, they were actually an inspiration to me not to become a gangster because the way they look at the end of the day, full of marks, stitches and stuff. I mean, for me, that was unacceptable. So yeah, I'm very glad today that I'm actually a policeman.
Craig swore that he'd live elsewhere, that he'd go breathe the air of neighborhoods reserved for the middle classes. At home, the atmosphere is much more calm and strict. His wife, in fact, is also on the force, but with a higher rank than Craig.
Here, we don't carry any ranks. The Bible says the man is the head of the house. So, I'm not going to argue that fact. If it's about the rank, then I must come in here every day, do this. Then I don't think that it's going to work.
Yeah, but to see to Lord, make us truly thankful for Christ our Lord's sake. Amen. Amen.
Very devout, Craig prays every night for an end to violence. Yet once more, he will be confronted with bullets when morning comes. In the central and beach districts, all appears calm. The first tourists appear on the regular routes along the city's high points. Their minds are far from the idea that behind Table Mountain, that they're admiring, a shootout just broke out. Hanover Park, on the east side of town. The gang unit has called in reinforcements from the National Police. No deaths, but over 20 shots just rung out across the neighborhood. Here, it's just routine. Look over there. Come over here. You can see for yourself. Scattered bullet holes testify to this omnipresent brutality.
You can't go out by your house and it's shooting. You can't go to the shop. You can't go to the shopping. Your wife cannot go. It's shooting.
What can we do? We must be used to it. They're like mad people.
The National Police try to obtain information on the shooters, but nobody wants to talk.
Yes,
I want to say nothing because that one is going to see what I'm going to say and she's going to say to that one what I'm going to say. The police is just so corrupt. That is what I can say. They're all together because how do the people get the guns? That is what I want to know. How do they get it?
In South Africa, not 1 month passes without some police officers being arrested and sentenced for corruption. 9 more officers were sent away just last week. The gang unit is renowned for being incorruptible. It has gained the trust of the populace in a few short months. This morning, they succeeded in collecting some essential information.
We found him in the house, number 15.
1 hour later, 5 suspects are arrested and stuffed like animals into the back of this van. It's a brutal method, but the Cape Town cops aren't known for their tenderness.
We're going to take them to the police station. We're going to see if there's any outstanding warrants against them or any other traces of what gang they belong to as well.
Wary of the gang wars, one family father finally denounced the shooters. Come on out, you bunch of rats. We're going to process you. In order to gather evidence against them, the gang unit first has to confirm that they are indeed members of the implicated gang. The tattoos are clear. They all belong to the Mongrels gang, under the leadership of this man. These young men are ready to kill for him.
Why I'm going to say I didn't kill people? If people going to catch me, they're going to kill me. That's why I have to kill them.
All that remains is to know who fired the shot. To that end, Craig's second in command has isolated the youngest, hardly 15 years old. It took over an hour of psychological pressure to get the boy to crack, even bluffing. The interrogation gets tougher.
If you killed, you'll pay for it. You're the one who shot, aren't you?
The man has been formally identified, but isn't giving anything up.
At least 10 people. 10 people in those 3 houses that you shot at, attempted murder on 10 people.
Never, sir. Never, sir. I never touched a gun. I will never touch a gun, I'm sorry.
No confession, but the police still have a solid case against the man. He's the head of one of the ultra-violent gangs. His men have denounced him, and 10 locals have formally identified him as the shooter. But in Cape Town, only the national police can choose to prosecute a suspect for attempted murder. With evidence in hand, Veronice, the only woman in the gang unit, goes to try to convince the station chief of the gravity of what has happened. But he's the one who shot.
He pulled the trigger?
Yes.
But he has to confess. I want to be absolutely sure that it was he.
Yet, the colonel doesn't order a single test for gunpowder residue or other traces, nor any further investigation. He prefers not to make an enemy out of a gang leader, and instead cites him for disturbing the public order, a minor offense. Luis, the youngest officer in the special unit, is appalled by the situation.
It's going to work out to exactly the same principle as letting these people walk out the gate now. And it frustrates me, so I don't want to be there in between them and put up a happy face if I know that what is happening is not the correct procedure.
Lou, you alright?
And how are you going to win a war like this if it carries on like this? You're never going to be able to win it. Never. Never. Why didn't I become a policeman?
It's not the first time that they've had the feeling that the South African National Police are sabotaging their investigations. The gang unit often sees hard evidence that they've seized suddenly disappear. And no use informing the authorities. The group is afraid of unleashing a war amongst the police.
When it was isn't training supposed to start again now? If we do it, they know we do it. We're gonna paint a big fucking target on our backs. Because we need to work here, they connected with these people inside here. What do you think is gonna happen to us?
how easy it is for them to set up a shooting.
But what we will do is we will carry on and keep on doing it, and we will hurt their business as much as we can. And it's our lives. Fucking bastards.
In Cape Town, it's estimated that only 1 out of 10 murders ever appears before a court. Because they feel abandoned by the police, some South Africans have chosen to defend themselves and are sometimes ready to act as vigilantes.
The range is safe, you may change targets.
They're all white, thoroughly trained, and their gun is their best friend. One member of the group, Yann Mouret, a French man, has lived in Cape Town for 10 years.
Oh, yes.
A former legionary, he turned his skills towards private security.
You see, out of 50 rounds, all of them hit the target, and in my opinion, he's dead.
No. I'm taking it home. Forget it. Man, I need another mag for that. Oh, you got another mag? Here we go.
These are descendants of white farmers who learned to shoot from childhood.
These are small business owners, employees, workers. They own gun licenses. They obey the law.
So yeah, it's just comforting to know that you are able to look after yourself. You don't have to look over your shoulder and see if there might be a policeman or anybody else. So you know you can just deal with any situation.
Since the end of apartheid, these white men have found themselves the minority in Cape Town. These days, they feel threatened by the violence in poor neighborhoods, even if it doesn't affect them. When he came to Cape Town, Jan quickly understood his client's fears, just by taking a walk in the heights of the city.
Well, see, down there you can see all the wealthy homes. That's one of the richer neighborhoods. You can see all the shanty towns.
A narrow stretch of earth separates shanty towns from stylish villas, tin-roofed huts from wealthy homes.
From this little village, it's easy to go knock over these houses and then get back to the other side. No one will catch them.
10 break-ins per week, and a slum that grows a bit every year. 15 years ago, 300 people. Today, 30,000. In Fishhoek, this residential Cape Town suburb, the proximity is disturbing. And yet aggression is rare. It's more of a feeling of insecurity that pervades and drives Jan's business. His company has installed alarms on 1/3 of the houses, and his cars patrol 24/7. The only blacks allowed to enter into the white neighborhoods are house workers. The fear is accentuated by white mistrust for blacks.
Well, people who are my age grew up with apartheid, so we still have this distinction between whites and blacks. Look, it's going to take 2 or 3 generations. Maybe not to disappear, but definitely to diminish.
Jan has a meeting in Stonehaven, a residential complex that's already well guarded.
Oh.
It's 30 degrees, eh?
And? What are you complaining about?
I'm not complaining, I'm just saying this is...
The head caretaker has asked Jan to evaluate their system.
clothes here. I thought we were walking through the bush.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks, Chris.
Despite these enormous fences, robbers managed to enter in just a few days ago.
We snapped it off. Which is quite easy once it's...
Yeah, but still, that's
It's quite a bit of work.
that's a bit of work to get that off. Huh?
They got plenty of time. So what I've And they done put is rebar. I'll put rebar.
Well, what Damon's going to organise here is the demo on that new laser technology.
But the cost of that to do the whole estate, I don't know.
Originally what we had proposed was to upgrade the energised fencing to piggyback the energised fencing all the way down to the ground.
Yes,
And to increase the zones to 250,000.
That's more reasonable, but still.
Over 15,000 euros. But for the residents, it's a necessary expense.
If you come from South Africa, you have to be obsessed with security. If you're not obsessed with it, you'll get skinned every 5 minutes.
In years gone by, there were a lot more patrols, there was more traffic police, there was more law enforcement. Now you get hardly anything. So what they do is they're not proactive, they're arriving afterwards. Security, private security in South Africa is a growing industry in a recession.
Just on
it's actually growing.
Not on getting a picture or something.
It's an obsession with security that borders on paranoia. Even if there are occasional thefts in these rich neighborhoods, whites are rarely ever harmed. They represent just 3% of the victims. What bothers them is that someone can come disturb their peacefulness. This morning, Jan's agents received a call from some disgruntled clients.
You were harassing people, we got complaints. You must leave the area, please.
Okay. And I'm going to my priest now up there.
Where? Number? Where?
Up there, at the corner.
Up there? What address?
I don't know the corner, but it's up there to the corner.
Oh, okay, I'm going to follow you up there now.
The source of their fear? This man, who has nothing particularly threatening about him.
Because why can't he walk on the street?
No, we got a complaint that he was harassing one of our clients down the road here. So, but he doesn't belong in this area anyway.
For 5 long minutes, the agent doesn't let him go. He stays until the man disappears.
No, he's going to the guy there now, but he's sitting down waiting for the guy. The guy didn't chase him away, so it's legitimate.
But the residents of these rich Cape Town neighborhoods aren't content with just private security services. Some of them have decided to take their own security into their own hands. This evening, a dozen residents have chosen to meet downtown. Jan is there. It's an occasion to meet potential clients. As every week, they prepare to patrol the streets.
I always said I should have been a policewoman.
Really? And you say it's fun?
I enjoy it, yes, I do.
What's the fun of it?
The fun of it is being able to catch the person, if possible, doing whatever they're up to. I enjoy myself. You know, I'm going to be 78 next Sunday. Wow. Still enjoy it.
Attention, please. Rules are simple. Look after yourself. Be safe. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, don't get into any arguments. Call SAPs. Let them do the talking for you. Okay, everybody clear on that? So it's going to remain flexible, as is always the case. No rigid planning here, flexible, and we will respond as required. Those of you who are dividing up into 3 teams.
If the head of the patrol is so strict, it's because these seemingly inoffensive retirees can sometimes fly off the handle.
They start getting tired of running after the same guys over and over again. When they catch one, they really give it to him to make him understand that he's got to stop coming here and that they have to go do this elsewhere.
They've taken justice into their own hands.
Somewhat, yes.
But this evening, in the streets, there's no one to arrest. The patrols announce their arrival and hunt any undesirables.
Notice how clean it is today.
Ten of them have been prosecuted for having violently beat homeless people and having attacked them with tasers and tear gas canisters. In the white suburbs of Cape Town, nearly 300 of such neighborhood watch groups patrol every night. In order to regain a grip on security, the police have launched a new type of intervention. For some months now, they have been carrying out a new type of operation in Cape Flats. They all meet up at nightfall. Mandy, Grant, and the gang unit.
See what they got me doing here? Sergeant, good evening to you, Sergeant.
The Metro Police and the anti-gang unit have joined forces for a high-risk operation.
So, we're going to go in, and then those three can wait with you. My guys will go in first.
They've been working for multiple weeks to arrest a major dealer.
Like you see, we need the firepower to apprehend these people. And that's why we've got the specialized units with us today.
Craig knows that his higher-ups are looking for results in order to be able to report on his and his team's operations.
You must activate this thing.
For Grant, this may be the occasion to prove that he's qualified for the elite unit.
Louis, when we get there, maybe you and Joe should stay together in the kitchen.
in the kitchen and
Okay.
all right.
All right, boys, we're almost there. Sergeant, it's on the right here. Here we go, all together, all together.
Go, 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 go. Down for blood. Clear, room clear.
The family is laid on the floor, and the dealer is quickly isolated.
No, this is a well-known drug outlet.
Thanks to an informant, they know that this man got merchandise delivered this very morning.
Everywhere. I can see if I can put it in the toilet drains, I can put it anywhere, so you search everywhere.
All right, let's pull. 1, 2, 3. Hey, come look over here. Bring them over here. So, what's in there? What do I see there? What's in this baggie? Shine your flashlight on it.
What is it?
It's tick. Amphetamines again.
Got nice drugs.
But they don't look like drug dealers, these ones.
Yeah. This is the houses, I guess, that you least expect that sells these drugs. And the people in the community, they let them go ahead and do what they do.
Another surprise awaits them behind the dishwasher.
It just shows you that your work is not in vain. At least you get something. So we don't always get something. So the information is, a lot of times the information isn't very credible. So it's always good.
The The scale is the real proof that the family was preparing to resell the drugs in small doses.
So has to seal the bags, and you hear what he's got is electronic scale. This electronic scale measures the amount of grammage of the drugs that goes on you. Now, I'm happy. When we get drugs like this and good arrests, it makes it all worth it. Strike one for us.
We're gonna detain all the people that was in the house, not the outside people, the people that was in the house. We're gonna detain them, and then we're gonna charge them for possession of we call the stick.
500 euros and more than 50 grams of hard drugs were found. The father, a figure of the drug trade in this Cape Town suburb, faces at least 3 years in prison.
Together, nice.
Louis, ze sê sy ry ek per werk. Ze sê sy ry ek per werk. Is it Joe, Louis? Yeah.
So why don't you join?
It's a lot of things. I mean, in a specialized unit, I mean, you just focus on certain things. But I don't know, maybe in the near future, we'll see what happens.
Yes?
Despite the success of the operation, Craig Jensen doesn't have any illusions.
But my personal feeling is that you can have all the police in the world, but if they don't do what they're supposed to do, then it's useless. And I think we should look at our laws again, because why the laws is not strict enough in terms of our firearm offences and the drug offences.
The gang unit continues, despite the pacification of the ghettos and suburbs, often relying on the goodwill of the population.
Mike 016 to the gang unit members in the Nova Park, come in.
The following morning, Craig is in Hanover Park, the neighborhood where a shootout broke out a few days before. He wasn't able to indict the gang leader for attempted murder, but he did convince the rival gangs to negotiate a truce.
I'm just seeing that everything is still in order, it's quiet, like we discussed at the police station now. And our focus is specifically this area where the shootings occurred the past week. So I just want to see if the releases of the two gang leaders and that will make any difference to the situation as it is now.
An unusual calm reigns over the streets. The locals are all gathered here on a playing field. Two rival gang heads are facing off. As often happens, it's the mothers, uneager to bury their sons, who are forcing an end to the violence. If you continue to shoot at us, we won't leave you be. We will hunt you down and you will die. We're fed up with your killing innocent people and us being the ones to pay for it. Craig deliberately keeps his distance.
So at the end of the day, the only people that can solve this problem is them themselves, because they're creating it, so they must solve their own problems. That is for us something good. It's less work for us, so that we can concentrate on other areas with more problems than this.
We have to bring ourselves together again. We have to end our divisions and become one single gang again, together.
Across the gang conferences.
If people happen to be outside, we won't stop them. We promise you, we won't shoot if people are outside. Cross my heart.
No handshake, no effusion, but the pact is officially sealed.
For many years.
Often the truce lasts barely a few weeks. Last year, 159 people were killed in the ghettos of Cape Town.